'Tis the season for Christmas decorating, and we have seen some electrical stuff that got people put on the naughty list. So, here's an electrician's guide to safe holiday lighting for your home, indoors and out. Hi, I'm Austin from Kraun Electric, and we are bringing you everything you need to know about your future electrical work. With over 25 years of experience as electrical contractors, Kraun brings you the best of knowledge and service. And today, we're covering our top safety tips to make sure that you hang your Christmas lights inside and outside safely as possible. And I promise you, there's gonna be some tips here that you haven't heard anywhere else. So make sure you watch all the way to the end to make sure you catch all of them. So let's get to it. First, we're starting indoors and then working our way outside. So off the top, let's knock off a couple tips that you probably already know, but it's good to have a refresher. For indoor Christmas lights, make sure you're checking all of the cords, bulbs, and plugs on any strings you own. That's especially true if you're using old incandescent string lights like these. If you are using older lights, maybe it's time to consider switching to some LEDs because they're brighter, they're cooler, and they use less energy as well. Another tip is if you're using a Christmas tree, make sure you're keeping it regularly watered because 1 in 4 Christmas tree fires start with electrical problems. Speaking of which, have you checked your smoke detectors lately? That's typically something to be in the habit of when the time changes in the spring and fall. So if you haven't, then I suggest pausing the video right now and checking all your smoke detectors. I'll be here when you get back. Go ahead. Alright, now that you're back, let's talk about power bars and extension cords. The main thing to check is to make sure that they're not getting hot from usage. If they are, you have way too much plugged in or it's time to replace them. And here's a Christmas light tip you probably don't know. How much do you know about these labels? You may never have looked closely at them, most people don't, but they are incredibly important. They're called approval marks and are recognized by the Electrical Safety Authority of Ontario. Any electrical appliance you purchase must have a label like this. Items from Amazon and or the dollar store may have counterfeit markings or have no markings at all. It's more common than you think, so be sure to check before you purchase. You can examine the package or the listed item online and in the comments to find photos of the plugs to make sure that the labels are properly marked. Check out the link in the description to see the many kinds of labels that exist. If it doesn't have an approval mark, don't buy it. That's it for our indoor Christmas light tips. So, do you have any that we missed? If so, put them down in the comments below. Now that we've covered indoors, let's move outside. First is common sense when hanging string lights, and that's being safe on a ladder and on your roof. You do not need a Luther crank situation. Simple safety tips are to avoid unsafe reaching and to make sure that you are on stable ground at all times. It's definitely worth having someone outside with you because they can be there to make sure that you are safe when you're up on the ladder or on the roof. The second major lighting tip outdoors is to make sure that you're using the proper clips, and they should be plastic, not metal. Obviously, if you have a damaged wire that's touching a metal clip, that's touching your gutters could be electrically live, and that is incredibly unsafe. Might teach those squirrels though. So to avoid creating a short, just use plastic clips. That's your best bet. The next tip is, well, you have to get electricity into the lights to power them. So where's the best place to plug in your lights? Obviously that would be into a GFCI receptacle, which is a ground fault circuit interrupter. GFCIs are circuit breakers that cut power off if they detect a ground fault, which creates a serious risk for electrocution, and that is not how you want to be spending your holidays. To get your lights to reach your GFCI power source, you may need to run extension cords, and if you are, please don't use your old, archaic, unsafe cords. Finding a quality outdoor rated extension cord with a 12 to 14 AWG, which is an American wire gauge rating, should support everything you need. Lastly, please do not piggyback your extension cords because that can create unsafe conditions as well. If you're running one extension cord that can carry more power through another extension cord that carries a little bit of power, then you're creating a major risk for fire, shock, and or equipment damage, none of which your insurance company will feel too merry about.
Bah, humbug.
And that about wraps it up, or unwraps it, for our electrician's guide to safe holiday lighting. So if this video made you feel jolly, then give it a like and subscribe to our channel because it really helps us out. If you have any comments or questions, please let us know down in the comments below. And you could also connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. We've got them all. And with that, we hope you have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all the best. We'll see you next time. Take care.